So it's about 7 a.m. and it's really, really fucking cold out. Like very cold out. So me and Stefan are getting ready to skedaddle on out of here and take on the day. Alright guys, so we're getting ready to roll, and let me tell you, it is really stinking cold out here, okay? The truck almost didn't start this morning. The reefer had some issues overnight. Couldn't keep up with the temperature in the box because it was so cold outside. The reefer was set at 55. So it kept faulting out, kept getting to about 51 and then stopping. So, but kept it running, kept the freight within range. It's got a 5-degree variance there, and the set point's 55. So kept it over 50 degrees. So we're okay. We're gonna get out there and fight this eventually, man. Right now I'm waiting on the windows to thaw out. But it is a dangerously cold mother effer right now in Iowa, and I'm sure it's like that in other places too. So we're gonna see how the day goes. So we are in Des Moines, Iowa, and we just stopped at the pilot here at exit 126, and it's cold out. The DEF pumps have all been cut off because the DEF's freezing. So there's no DEF, and it's so cold that the keypads are freezing. So luckily I have enough reefer fuel to get me down the road, because there's no way to get beyond the DEF part of the screen without going inside, and it's freezing cold and I don't want to walk in there. So we're going to be switching out in 120 miles anyhow. We got about a half a tank of reefer fuel, so we're just going to roll on down. We got tractor fuel that we needed. I'm just going to roll on down to Council Bluffs, Iowa here, and get the reefer fuel there, where it's hopefully it'll be working. So, as you can see, we are back in a pilot now. We're going to go round 2 to try to get fuel today. Now, we got the truck full, but the problem is the pumps were so frozen back in Des Moines because it was 19 below that they couldn't get past the DEF screen because they had the DEF shut off. So I couldn't get reefer fuel. I get tractor fuel, just couldn't get reefer fuel. So now we stopped again in Council Bluffs. I've knocked a couple hundred miles off of it. Stefan's going to take over. But we got to go ahead and top the reefer off before we take off any further. And as you can see, it's a little bit of a mess in front of us. All right, we finally got our turn of fuel, so now I'm going to get out in this. We're going to deal with this cold a little bit and see if we can't get a little fuel in this reefer. I wanted to show you guys the sign here. No DEF, as you can see. So let's see about getting some fuel now. See what we can do. See if we can handle this today. I forgot my gloves, so I'm going to have to run back there and get my gloves in a moment. So it's a pretty simple process here. You just run your Prime ID as a fuel card, and then I got my little pilot card. I'm going to use it. As you can see, it's getting a little warmer. I don't even have my hat on at the moment because it is so much warmer here. Woof. I forgot my gloves. I'm going to have to go get them. So the whole process to get the pump started usually takes about a minute. Requires some information from you in order to get the fuel assigned to the trip you're on. And that way you don't pay for the fuel until you get paid for the trip. So that's kind of important to keep your money straight. We're gonna run back to the truck real quick and get some gloves. Gotta grab some gloves here and get this DEF pumping. See here, our reefer fuel. I'm sorry, we didn't get no DEF. It's frozen, obviously. Y'all saw the picture. So, woof. Now, where we're buying fuel at, we're at this pilot. They have already pre-treated this fuel up to negative 20 degrees. So that's a big help out here in the weather situation we're in. That way this fuel has already been pre-treated. Now, you can't always depend on that, so make sure you know what you're putting in your tanks, guys. In case you have to add your own anti-gel into it. This trailer was really empty. We were right around a quarter tank, so it's probably going to take about 25 gallons to fill it up. Maybe we might get away with 20, but that'll last us all the way till we get to Ogden, and I'll top it off again before I drop it. It's pretty key you drop the tanks, the reefers, with full tanks of fuel. You don't want to drop trailer that you drop running out of fuel before they get the freight off of it, and then you can claim. All right, guys. So anytime you're going to drop a trailer, make sure you fill it all the way up. But yeah, it feels like a heat wave out here. It's about 11 degrees out. And so that's a net gain of about 30 degrees in the last 200 miles. So it's almost like summertime. Yeah. Why, it wouldn't work for you? Oh yeah, it's working. So the guy in front of me just said he couldn't get this one to work, so he must have had a hard time with it. Yep. I didn't have any problems with it. It's working for me. So this trailer's been having some issues overnight last night and into today. So I'm gonna go grab a little something. I'll be right back. Or not. Seems I'm out. I was gonna possibly put a little 911 in it, but I did not. So now we're full, and the truck's already full. So let's see what it took. As you can see here, $56 in this reefer. This is the first time we put fuel in it since we left Pennsylvania. So that's not terrible if you think about it, because we were stopped for 2 days, basically in Iowa. So I'm done fueling, so I'm going to pull up to the yellow line, then I'm going to go off duty because Stefan is taking over. So I'm going to go off duty and go in here and get some Arby's. Give me a little num-nums. Get a little food in the belly. All right, so we're back on the road. We just entered Nebraska. Got my belly full of Arby's. The student Stefan is now in charge of the ship. He's at the helm. So he's gonna sail us probably about 500 miles or so, maybe a little more than that. And I'm gonna get some sleep. Like I was saying back there, it's a lot warmer now. About 15 degrees. It is like a heat wave. I woke up this morning, my manhood was so far crawled up inside of me, I thought I had a VJ. So, whew, it's like being a kid, my balls dropped again. I feel like a man. So the video of this part of the day is going to end because I'm going to sleep. But I'll continue videoing when I get up tonight, all the way up until we arrive up in Ogden. There was a Dodge in its natural environment. So it's about 6:56 p.m. and I was sleeping, and I just got woke up to a pre-plan for our next load. So once we deliver in the morning in Ogden, Utah, we're going to go over to Clearfield, Utah, and we're going to pick up, it's about 10 miles south of Ogden, I think, towards Salt Lake, and we're going to pick up a load there, going back. It's going to Memphis, but we're going to take it to Springfield and drop it off at dark because I have a DOT physical scheduled for Monday morning. So that's the plan at this point. It looks good. It gets us where we need to go by Monday. And that was important because my physical expires Tuesday, so I had to get in there and get in the yard. Alright, I'm going to go back to bed for a little bit. I'll make some more video clips when I get up in a few hours. Alright, YouTube, it's about 11:40 at night, and we are in Laramie, Wyoming, and we just switched out. So Stefan's getting shit in order to get into bed, and I'm getting myself motivated to drive. We have about a little less than 400 miles, I believe, something like that, 390 or so, out to Ogden. So we did get a pre-plan that we're going to pick up tomorrow and take back to Springfield, Missouri, because I got an appointment on Monday. So we're gonna get it down the highway here, and I guess I'll see y'all again in Ogden. So it's 4:26 in the morning. I call this dead man hours, between 3 and 6, and I'm tired. So I'm gonna lay down and take a nap, because sometimes it's just what you gotta do. We have arrived at Hershey. As you can see, we've arrived at Hershey, but so is everybody else in the Northern Hemisphere. So now we'll just wait our turn. All right, so it's finally our turn. Let's go get rid of this shit. It's been a long trip with all that bad weather we had, so it'd be kind of nice to get this off of here. Hello, how are you?
Good, how are you?
You don't need that. That's an old receipt.
Hi, are you here for a loaded one?
No, ma'am. I'm just gonna grab an empty trailer. I dropped my trailer off yesterday.
Okay, you're gonna have
Mariah.
to wait just a few minutes.
Mariah said that I could come back. Okay.
How are you today?
We're doing all right. We have no computers right now.
Well, that's wonderful, isn't it?
It is. You can't print out any way you those trailers.
Tennessee?
All right, give me just a minute.
All right. So we're going to drop this one and maybe get an empty, maybe not. We'll see. See if they're feeling generous on empties. So now we just play the waiting game. Nothing nice about coming to Ogden, though. is if you look in this window, you get a little something when you leave. Yummy. It's good stuff right there. So it's like the, I believe it's the last Hershey facility that still does that. So they kind of hook you up with something. Yeah, you hooked me up.
There you go.
You getting candy today?
Yeah, on the way out.
On the way, hey. Thank you, dear. I'll see you on the way out. All right, folks. So we're empty finally. It was a long run. We could have done it in 2 days. Ended up taking 4, thanks to Mother Nature. But the load was $2,600 pay. And we spent $800 in fuel, so $1,800 profit in the 4 days. So we got it done, and now we're in line for a washout to start our next one. So we're gonna run over here to Clearfield and pick up, and we're gonna head to Springfield with it. So and it pays $25.89 or something. So we'll be there tomorrow. It's about 1,200 miles, 1,250 I think, something like that. So that concluded the last run, the 24 hours in the life of me. I tried to do some videos for y'all to kind of give you an idea of what I go through on a daily basis. So hopefully y'all got that. I mean, it's kind of a little different for solo because you don't wake up 500 miles away from where you went to bed. But for the most part, I think y'all got the gist of it. So I'm going to leave it at that. We're going to take off on the next one. And we're going to start another video. Now, I'm going to be live from campus tomorrow evening, all right, guys? So if you're going to be at campus tomorrow, look for me. We should be there sometime in the afternoon. And I'm going to do a live feed from the parking lot. And I'll be glad to meet and greet with anybody who's there. Just come on out and say hi. Feel free. You might end up on camera. Take some pictures with you guys, whatever we want to do. All right, y'all take care. Be safe, and hopefully this video shows you the road to success.